Hello everybody, Adelaja here, talking about Nigerian mindset. Our host and anchor today is Israel Good News Balogun, and I will be here to answer his queries and his challenges coming not from him personally, but from the people he represents and stands for. And the people he represents in this program and stands for are the Nigerian populace and the mindset of our people. With me answering the questions and the challenges that Nigerians would like to throw at me is the Saveto himself, Bamisaye Victor. Hello, Bamisaye Victor.
Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, hello, Israel Good News Balogun.
Hello, dear.
How are you today? I can't hear you. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, sir. And hello, my greetings to my brother also, Dr. Victor Bamisaye.
Good evening to you.
And to everyone watching us this evening, wherever they are, I'm extending my greetings to everyone.
All right, we are hearing you.
Okay, today's program is all about the possibility of Nigeria being Islamized. And then what is the possibility that Nigeria can become an Islamic nation? If that can happen, if there's any possibility that Nigeria can become an Islamic nation, who will be responsible for it? I have three ways through which Nigeria can become an Islamic nation. One is Nigeria can become Islamized nation, an Islamic nation through jihad. Nigeria can become an Islamic nation through legislative. And Nigeria can become an Islamic nation if the Christians fail in their roles and responsibilities. These are three ways through which I think Nigeria can become an Islamic nation. And then the program today is essentially to establish any of these things. Which one is more possible, or what is the evidence on ground? If Nigeria will become an Islamic nation tomorrow, which of these elements can make Nigeria to become an Islamic nation? But I will start from where, and that's why I'm bringing DSA and Dr. Victor to deal, because your role with me is to help me also to assess and to be. You are not in Nigeria. You don't think like. Not let me say you don't think like us, but let me say maybe you are an individual who think not because of what you see, what you hear, but you base your thinking on fact and figures. But Nigerians today believe that the plan, the method, the things that are going on in Nigeria today is essentially towards making Nigeria become an Islamic nation. So everybody believes. There's a particular video I wouldn't want to play. It will take much of our time. I would have loved that we play, but it does not count. This message was a particular man from CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria. The man was representing CAN, was going around, he was preaching in different churches, and he was coming up with theory of how Turkey become an Islamic nation. How Turkey happened to be a a Christian nation from beginning, and how they become an Islamic nation. Then I went back to check for the history and the reason behind why Turkey become an Islamic nation. And I got shocked what I discovered. Well, I am not going to jump the guns. Let me start from. There are three main reasons why, and I've said earlier, that it's possible for Nigeria to become an Islamic nation. Or let me say, there are three methods through which Nigeria can be Islamized. One of it is through jihad, holy war. Nigerians believe that the strategy of Boko Haram, S-men, killing of people in different states that we have been hearing about, kidnapping, is for the purpose of sending wars or colonizing other tribes and turning them to become a Muslim. For instance, when they propose Buga, the news about giving settlement to cows, rearers in different states, and federal government saying is willing, anyone who's willing to do that with him is willing to also partner with them. People started shouting, and their strongest point of argument was that it is a plan of Buhari to turn Nigeria to Islamic nation. That was the strongest arguments. Nobody sat down to check and to weigh the advantages that this thing could bring to countries and states that accept such business to thrive. But they get the sentiment and the support of the masses against that plan because they were able to spread the news that the government is planning in sending their own agent in different states, and for the sake of breaking through and sending war. When that was the first, that was one of the reasons why we think Nigeria an Islamized nation, Nigeria can be Islamized, and they say through the war, through the method of terrorism. When people are killed, they will be forcefully asked to become a Muslim. Before I give a further explanation from my end, I would love to hear, because I have a video to play, but I would love to hear our view first and foremost on this, the possibility of Nigeria becoming an Islamic nation through jihad. What do we think of that?
Well, people who are weak give excuses. People who don't have arguments, they major in speculations. People who lack facts fall back to assumptions. And that is what we see that the Nigerian Christians have started to do in regards to this question of Islamizing Nigeria. Buhari has already spent one term and is now going to his second, is now in his second term. He didn't Islamize Nigeria in the first term. He was there in 84, he didn't Islamize Nigeria. In the second term, we have not seen the Islamization. I don't know what they will say after Buhari finishes. They always come out with different stories just to discredit the poor guy. Concerning Turkey, I think the name of the guy is Olumide Emmanuel or something. No, not Olumide, something Emmanuel, something like that. Is it Bosun Emmanuel or something? I think it's Bosun Emmanuel, they call the guy. That came back from Germany and started distributing and spreading so that fear among Christians, saying Turkey was a Christian nation, and now it's a Muslim country because the Christians didn't know the agenda of the Muslims and they were Islamized. But what he refuses to say is that it is the Christians, the actions of the Eastern Christians and the Western Christians, their disagreements and their feuds among themselves is what led to the fall of Constantinople. So Constantinople, which was Turkey in those days, fell because of this schism between two branches of Christians. The Christians who are Catholics and the Christians who are Orthodox in the East. So that it is because of our own disagreement and division among ourselves that led to the fall of Constantinople. So the same thing could happen today. And why that could happen is that it is not the actions of the Muslims. I agree with this topic that you gave. That it's not the actions of the Muslims that will make Nigeria to become Islamic, if anything at all. It is probably going to be because of the inaction of the Christians, or the lack of unity of the Christians, or the lack of purpose of the Christians. Will it happen by war and violence? We are no more in that age. If it could happen by violence, Islamic people would have taken back Israel. They would have taken back Palestine, the land of Palestine. They tried to do that in the 60s, and they were beaten brutally. And since they have lost the 6 Days War, the 6-day war, and the Islamic people and Muslims stopped trying to use violence to achieve anything. And they could use religion, but not violence, because they always fail. Because Muslim nations now are not some of the most powerful militarily. The age when the Muslims in the 5th century, when the Muslims used violence and military to spread their faith, those days are gone. They are now weak. They are too weak now. They know that if they try that, they will be wiped out of the surface of the earth. Just like Saddam Hussein tried to do the same thing. He was trying to do something like that. He was removed very fast, and his country converted to the opposite, to become an ally of America that he hated most. Gaddafi is another madman of the East that was trying to do the same thing. He was turned into a rat, hiding in holes and canalization canals in his own country. And he was wiped out very quickly, and his country left in shambles. Nobody will try that again. It is an old philosophy and ideology that through violence, Muslims or Islamic people will spread Islam and overtake some countries. I mean, those are fables for the gullibles. Those are not thoughts for right thinking, informed minds.
When you said fables for the gullibles, I said that was no pun intended.
No?
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But of course, I think this happens when people take fragment of information, and it's easier for them to
have truth,
because they've been doing that with their Bibles. They've been practicing that with their Bibles for a long time
in their 4 walls of the church.
So they just take half information from the Bible that they have readily with them.
They have become experts in doing that.
Now imagine when you now give them an expanse of history that is so that's wide, and probably they even have to search more. There were 2 times Turkey has had this experience of war and the removal of the Christian faith. That was in the 15th century, like you mentioned, and then the treaty between Europe and then the Muslims after the
Austria-Hungary, after the First World War.
After the First World War. People don't know these things. But how do you expect them to know it when they don't even know what's in their Bible? I thought the Bible says those that know their God shall be strong and do exploit. So if the Bible says that, why then are you scared? Even if there was going to be jihad, why are you not thinking
if you know your God?
So, but here's the deal. Like DSC said, it is fables for the gullible, and of course they do swallow it because their minds are not occupied with greater things. Their minds are so narrow that big things can occupy it. The only thing that can occupy it are fables, are myopic thinking, are fake news. And the thing about fake news in that sense again is that people are gotten by fake news and this kind of propaganda to the tune and to the direction of what their bias is. And many of these people, they really have hate for people who do not believe what they believe. And what that hate really does, it makes you susceptible to fake news, and it makes you susceptible to believing things that are not factual.
To deception.
Yeah, to deception. And that it opens you to all of that, and so you will not really be able to consider real things. But I think that is one of the failures of the church, that the church has not done so well in expanding the minds of those who worship within its fold. It has not expanded, it has not done well to invest in the minds of those who come and subscribe to it. Imagine if, and I'm going to say this, DSA, I don't know how controversial it will sound, but I just imagine a man who all he reads is the Bible, as much as I believe in the Bible. But I can't imagine what kind of life such a person will live on earth.
The 21st century.
In this 21st century, a man who reads only the Bible. Because when he is being told of something that never happened, he has no idea. He has never taken to the newspaper to read what is happening. He is not even living in now, not to talk less of living in history. I, since probably age 7 or 10, made it a duty to read the newspaper every day. So they are very, let me say I don't know, I won't say I know most, but I know quite a lot of things. And so for me, those things are not history now, because I was a part of it. Now, that Christian is not living in the world. He does not know what happened in 2015. He has no idea what happened in 2003. So when they tell him that so and so happened, even though those things did not happen, he does not know, because he has not been a student of the present, talk less of being a student of the past. So he is very open to deceit. And that's why many of these people believe things can happen that way. Because someone who lives in today and understands a bit of history will know that there's something called dispensations. Right now we have government. In those days we had kingdom. And every kingdom, like I said in the program 2 weeks ago, every kingdom then had an expansionist idea. The church, when the church lost focus and became a kingdom in itself, where the Pope was the king, was even ruling everywhere. England had to even get independence from the church. Many people don't know that. That the whole idea of Anglican was so that the English crown could gain independence from the Roman Catholic Church. So even the church was a kingdom. And the whole idea of that kingdom was that it should keep what? Expanding. When, even after Martin Luther wrote his letter, the church still needed to expand. And how did they come? They came in the form of something called the counter-revolution by the Jesuits.
Where is your microphone?
Yeah.
You don't lose that ball. Let it hang like that. Put it forward.
They came in the form of a counter-revolution that was done by the Jesuits.
Make it just hang like that.
Yes. That was done by the Jesuits. Yes. And these Jesuits, what were they doing? They were still spreading around to spread the idea and see how many more kingdoms and territories they could conquer. But that time even went. We now came into not just kingdoms now, but kingdoms relinquishing their authority to government. Governments themselves started relinquishing their authority to capitalists. And it was not government that gave birth to countries like Nigeria. It was not the British government. Government did not give birth to America. Those who gave birth to America, Australia, South Africa were capitalists. Now look at how dispensation has changed. And you want to tell me religion is the most important thing today? That they will now make you a Muslim? Now I believe that people can be converted from one religion to another. And I believe many people in Nigeria are serving one religion. And you know what that religion is, DSA?
Mammon?
Yeah, money. It is money. Both those who identify as Christians and those who identify as Muslims, all of them are united by a common bond called money. Because that is what the dispensation that we are now talks about. So you must understand those dispensations and not be misled by all these fables of Islam is old-fashioned. Christianity is old-fashioned.
Religion is outdated.
Technology and money are the things that are ruling the world right now. So don't let someone be drawing you back into the idea of somebody will convert you to a religion. It doesn't.
No, they can convert you, but
not the whole country. I mean, that they can convert the whole country into religion. Countries are too busy for that. Even Saudi Arabia, that is the homestead of Islam,
is being converted by technology
and money. Right now, they are opening many because they need more money to come in, more technology to come in. They are changing many of their rules.
Even Iran is being converted by technology.
So, you now think Nigeria that has not even caught up with anything, I think there's so much to be discussed.
It's a talk for the jobless.
Yeah.
Okay, DSA. And then Dr. Victor, maybe you should wait for the stone, because that statement you made, they are going to throw you a lot of stone by saying that Christianity is old version. Wait for the stone is coming, and I hope you have a shed to block yourself and to.
Did you really say Christianity? I thought you said religion.
Well, I mentioned Christianity, mentioned Islam. They are all old-fashioned.
So, but they are coming for you. But I don't want to disagree with anybody on their view or on their assumption. And I don't want to disagree with them by just merely talking. I can just tell you it's not true, you can't be. They want to prove it and show them that this cannot be. I think Dr. Victor started last program on this kind of topic, and then he started with trying to explain the reason for expansion. I think that's why he stopped, and then the network couldn't allow us to go on. We are trying to speak and explain the reason behind the expansion, the reason behind the Fulani coming to move to this terrain, moving from that place to Ilorin, even reaching for Yo and stuff. And then that was the reason. It's just for expansion. And then wherever they expand, they come with their religion. The same way when England expanded its kingdom to Nigeria, Nigeria was not a Christian nation before they came. They also came with their religion. And then they did not conquer Nigeria by gun to convert them to become Christians. They were conquered by something superior than gun. They were conquered by unspeakable, unexplainable love from the Christians. Of course, if we are colonized with gun, but Nigeria didn't accept their religion with gun. God was not point on Nigeria to say yes to Jesus. People who brought Christianity make them to believe and to accept Christianity because they saw something that is more powerful than God, and those people who brought it, they brought it with unexplainable love. That is why Nigeria was able to embrace Christianity. Okay, jihad being a possibility of making Nigeria becoming an Islamic nation, it is as tantamount to saying that Nigeria will become, I don't know where to place it really, because the possibility is zero. Why? Under the sovereign power of Nigeria to defend its citizens, whoever take a harm against Nigerians in the purposing of enforcing its own religion on them forcefully, Nigeria has an obligation to defend its own citizens. It is an obligation of Nigeria to defend its own citizens. So even if the sitting president is the one planning it to make Nigeria become an Islamic nation, whatever make him to, whatever way they want to subtle manner or whatever method they want to use to penetrate the country with and taking out against the country, Nigeria is a sovereign nation.